Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leathercraft, and we are well on our way to making a simple, rustic leather purse. Looks great, clean and tight. So, Chapter 1, we've got our pattern set and ready to go. Chapter 2, we're going to cut some leather, add a groove line, and add our marks. That's going to set us up to set spots and to hand sew. Now, anything I use in this video, weaverleathercraft.com, or look below, we've got links there. Going to take you straight to our website. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to step over here, grab a roll of this gorgeous water buffalo, and let's start cutting. Okay, I've got some of our beautiful water buffalo. Now, right off the bat, we're going to use a chrome tanned water buffalo, 4 to 5 ounce. And I love this leather. It's got some good weight, so it takes all of our hardware and our decorations nicely, but also very supple. It's got some good body, but it's supple, and I love that. Now, a couple of tricks right off the bat. Cutting leather sounds simple, is simple, but there are some tricks here that are going to help us out. First off, I've blocked my leather. All that means is I've cut my leather, coming from a full hide or side, I've cut my leather down into a more manageable piece. Big manufacturers do this because it's tough to manipulate a full side on your work table and get a good cut. Now, again, you're going to think waist. Well, not really, because even if I have a little 1-inch strap on this, I still have length. All right, so let's do this. Let's jump over, because another little trick here is whenever I buy a hide or a side or a double shoulder, what I'll do is I'll cut off 4, 5, 6 inches along my longest edge. Therefore, I always have length. Length is always our friend. So let's do this. Let's lay this out. I'm going to take my straight edge and just square. Easy enough? Okay. Another big trick here, and this is the best trick I've got. Non-slip tape. This is simply the tape that's used on hospital steps or whatnot. But first off, I can drop this. I don't even have to press down. That straight edge is not moving. Second big point though, let's run that right to our edge, because if I'm using a lighter weight leather, garment or upholstery, you've probably tried to cut some and it's rippled on you. Well, if I run that tape right to the edge, what's going to happen is it's going to pin that leather down, and I'm going to get a good clean cut every time. But the second part to that is a new knife blade every time. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and cut leather for our 2 longest straps. So I need a 37 by 1 and a 20 by 1. Now, with my square again, 1.5 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 common sizes. So I've got my leather squared right there. Let's butt that in, easy enough. Now let's move this over lightly. I don't want to move my leather. And I can simply take my square right there. I'm at 1 inch. And right there I'm at 1 inch. All right, second part to all of this. Clean knife blade every time. There we go, and let's just trim that off. All right, so let's drop our straight edge, roll this up. I still have some good length there, all the way up to maybe 1.5, almost 2 inches. So let's roll that up, set that aside. Now with our pieces, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one at 20 inches and one at 37.5. And there's our 20. Now I said 37.5. Actually, we're just 37 inches. Sorry about that. Okay, so our 2 straps cut. How easy is that? Now let's move over to our billets. And all I need here is 5 inches. Let's double check. 1 by 5 inch. Yep, let's see. There we go. Now we can see that. 1 by 5. So I'm going to butt those and trim that. All right, billets are ready to go. Easy enough. Scrap. Absolutely. Waste? Nope, not a chance. All right, we're going to set that aside. Now let's move over to our main body and our billets. Now with our main body, I'm going to turn around and get an awl. Now with this leather's super easy to mark. So really with my main body, I just need to mark my corners and my round end. So with that, we're going to square that. Let's bring our straight edge up there so we get a good clean straight edge. There we go. We're going to butt. Got room over here. Going to throw that out there. Let's mark. And I'm simply going to mark my corner. Yeah, notice that. Okay, we can see that nice and easy. And on this end, I'm simply going to mark for my straight line. Then I'm going to bring my awl around. All right, there we go. Okay, easy enough. Now, with my straight edge, again, if you're not comfortable cutting freehand, and we're going to have to cut our corners freehand, but everything else can be cut with our square. All right, there's that. Now, again, with that non-slip tape, every cut is spot on. So let's cut these just by freehand. Clean knife, new knife every time. Look at that, beautiful clean cut, just what I'm looking for. There we go, all right. Thus far, body ready to mark. All right, so let's lay that aside. Last thing we need are 2 gussets. And these are going to be 7 1/4 by 2 1/2. So what I can do, I've got a nice long piece here. Let's go ahead and come up. We're marking at 7 1/4. So let's make a mark at 7 1/4. We need 2 1/2. So let's come out 5 inches. Make another mark. There we go. All right, we're good and clean. So let's come in 2 1/2 square. There we are. There's our cuts. And our last cut there, okay. Gussets, cut and ready to go. Now, I had this sitting aside a minute ago, and this is a good point. Waste does not necessarily equal scrap or vice versa, because a belt keeper or a belt loop, even this small piece of leather, I can circle that around, set a rivet, and I've got a keeper for a belt loop. So again, scrap does not equal waste. All right, so let's jump back over here. We're going to need to clip our corners. Now, again, somewhere between 1/4 and 3/8 is more than enough. Heavier leathers, we need to be a little more accurate there, but that's going to be easy enough for us to make a nice tight bend on the bottom of our corner or our gusset. There we go. Okay. Now, those are ready. All right, one step, we're going to add a groover. Groove line. Now, this is one of my favorite tools. I use it just about everywhere. It's going to sink a groove line down the edge of our leather. Primary job here is for stitching, which we're going to do. But to me, I'm going to groove every line because to me, it's a nice edge decoration. I've got this set at 1/8 of an inch for sewing. I've got multiple widths, but I can always see this 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to drop this down. There's my guide arm. There's my cutting head. I'm simply going to give this a little counterclockwise pressure, not much, but at the same time, this is a softer leather. So I need to run my finger down kind of right in front of it so it doesn't ripple on me. There we go. Okay, looks good. Now again, I'm going to do all 4 sides here. We're even going to do our throat because to me, that's just a nice edge decoration. All right, so I'm going to add a groove line to all sides, all pieces. And our last edge, now too, it's helpful. These can be a little tough to groove, but if I drop them next to my straight edge, no problem. I get a good groove line, and that stays pretty stable for me. All right, now I said I'm going to groove all sides, but really on our end cuts, we're going to punch those off, so no real need to go there. All right, we are set and ready to go. Everything is cut, grooved. We're going to step over here to our pattern table, and we're going to mark for our holes and spots. Now, marking our leather is going to be relatively easy, but our strapping, this can be confusing because we've got this big long piece and our short little pattern. Well, that's okay because the way we've done this, all I have to do is on my longer strap with my tongue billet is butt it to this end, mark my holes, and then butt it to this end and mark my holes, and it's right every time. So I'm going to mark all holes. Same here. Butt to that end, mark it. Butt to that end, mark it. I'm going to mark my holes here, here. We're going to jump over to our gussets and our billets, which gusset, simply 2 holes, billet 4 holes, and then we'll jump over to our main body. Okay, our gusset done, nice. Now we're going to jump over to our main body. One thing that helps me with a larger piece is I can square that, then I can lay my straight edge in. That gives me a little extra oomph to keep that pattern down. There we go. So really all we need to do here, so we're going to mark 3 inches up from our bottom bend for our closure. Same there. Now I'm just going to mark. Let's just double check, make sure we're good and square there. Good. Now I'm going to mark for my spots. And our last few marks there. All right, now again, the camera's not going to see that, but I can see my marks pretty clearly. And even if they're not exactly even with that line, that's okay because our spot's going to be 1/4 of an inch it's going to cover up any hole I've got there. All right, so these are ready. Let's jump over to our quartz. We're going to drop in our round holes, our end cuts, oblongs. All right, let's start with our billets. On our sample here, we're just going to have 2 rivet holes. So that hole, I want about 1/8 of an inch. Does not have to be spot on, but I want a smaller hole around my rivet so that that will stay in there snug when I'm working with my project assembling. It's not falling out and rolling around. But the bigger point there is if it's snug, it's going to be a very clean bite. So roughly 1/8 of an inch, and I've got 4 holes on each billet. And our last hole there. All right. Now again, from our sample, we're going to put a round end hole or a round end punch on both ends. So 1-inch strap, 1-inch round end. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put my finger, my pinky, right at the bottom of the cutting edge so I can feel the end of the strap. When I drop that down, I'm simply going to push with my pinky a little bit, so therefore I can feel a little bit of distance between the end of the tool and the end of the strap. But also too, from this point, notice I want a little daylight in between each wing. Therefore, when I strike this, there we go. We have a very clean round end. All right, so I'm going to put a round end on both ends, both billets. All right, easy enough. Those are ready to assemble. So let's set those aside. We're going to jump over to our gusset. All we need here is, again, holes for rivets. Our billets will actually rivet onto our gusset. All right, so we need rivet holes there as well. And on each piece, just the 2 holes. All right, our last punch. There we are. Our gussets look good. Easy enough there. Let's set those aside. Drop that aside. All right, let's jump over to our straps because these are a little more complicated, but again, no major issue. Now, got my marks, hard to see, but again, right here for our buckle, we're going to use a rivet, but on our other end, we're going to use a Chicago screw, which is really just a threaded rivet. So on one end, let's do this. Let's go ahead and drop in our oblong. I can see our 2 marks there. So with this, again, I'm going to use my pinky down towards my cutting edge so I can feel that on my strap. And I'm going to get a good clean cut each and every time. All right, we know where that is. So let's flip this around. We're going to jump up to a 3/16 inch round hole. Again, this does not have to be exact, but somewhere between a 3/16 and a 1/4 inch will give us a room for our Chicago screws. And punching around our oblong with our 1/8 inch punch. Okay. Now, both ends of this will get a round end punch. All right, there we go. That's easy enough. And again, on our bend back, piece that's going to go around our D, we've got Chicago screw holes. On the other end, our buckle, simple rivets. All right, so that one's easily done. Now, step over to our other strap. All right, right here. Again, camera's not going to see this, but I've got my size holes or my adjustment holes. So let's go with our 3/16 inch there so that our buckle tine has room to go through the hole. And one more, there we are. All right, on this end, now I've got tools everywhere. English point. Again, 1-inch strap, 1-inch English point. Same with my round. I'm going to use my pinky right at the bottom of the cutting edge. I'm going to drop that in, a little light on both sides. There we go. That looks great, very professional again. All right, on the other end, we've got to remember again, we're going with Chicago screws here. So let's jump up. There we are, our 3/16. There we are, okay. And same as the other strap, round end punch. All right, so easy enough on our strapping, our billets and our gusset. Now when we jump over to our main body, we just need 2 holes here. But it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to use the locks fastener. I need a 3/8 inch hole here, but I only need that twice. So right up here on my flap, there we go. And there's our mark there. Well, we're set to go. How easy could that be? Our holes are punched, ready to go. So follow me to chapter 3. We're going to set our spots, or if you don't want spots, you can jump to chapter 4 where we're going to hand sew this.